So what's going on? A lot of people think that building a profitable farm stand really comes down to having more products, having more land, having better pricing margins. And those are all good things. Those are all things that are helpful. But at the end of the day, there's three main things that you have to do to build a connection with your community. And that's really going to be connection, consistency, and trust. Those three things. And it doesn't matter how small or how big you are, you have to have those three things. That's why customers are going to come buy from you. That's why you're going to find people come back consistently over and over and over to buy what you have, whether that's a product, a service, whether you're selling sourdough bread, whether you're selling jams and jellies, whether you're selling chicken eggs. It doesn't really matter what you're selling. It's about showing up for your audience, being honest, being trusted, and just being consistent with what you are selling. So my wife and I, we have a small farm stand here in Ohio where we offer lavender products, we offer soaps, salves, creams, lotions. We offer an array of natural and holistic products. We also sell A2 milk, and that's kind of our big seller, and we're very thankful to be able to do that. But if it wasn't for building a relationship with our customers, all of that would fail. So let's get into it. Let's talk about that. If you find this content to be helpful, I'd really like you to go through and hit that like button, hit subscribe. It helps us to be able to reach a larger audience so that we can be found by more people. All right, so connection. Every sale begins with a relationship. You have to understand that when you are selling products or selling services, everything starts and ends with a relationship. Can your customers trust you? Do they know you? Do they like you? Do they trust you? You'll hear something talked about as the know, like, and trust factor, because when people know you, they like you, and they trust you, they're going to exchange their time with money, okay? And it's going to lead to sales for you. If they don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you, you're not going to be getting any sales. So it's about building a positive relationship. It's about building a connection with your people, with your audience. So what are some things that you can do to engage right now? So a few things that we've written down. One is be present. So even if your stand is self-serve, you can include a small sign with your names, with an email, with a photo. You can have social media. Just have a short story about who you are and what you are. Talk about your farm. Talk about your business. When people have a connection with you and they build that relationship, they're going to feel connected with you. It's just part of human psychology. It's about part of human relationships. Invite curiosity. So 1 is be present, 2 is invite curiosity. Consider adding like QR codes, maybe some small cards, even like a business card that links to your farm story, links to your about page. Maybe you have a video online where you connect and you share a little bit more about your story. Those things, those ways are certainly beneficial and will continue to engage your audience, will help you to grow, but more importantly, will help you to build that connection back to your customers. When people, your customers, when they feel seen and valued, they feel heard, they don't just buy from you, they begin telling others about you, okay? So one of the biggest benefits that we have seen at our farm stand is word of mouth marketing. When our customers show up and they tell us they like our products, that's wonderful, that's fantastic. But what speaks even more is when you have other people that show up. You have other customers that arrive, and they're not even from the area, but they've heard about you, and maybe they've seen products online, they've seen a review, they've seen a post from one of their friends about what they bought at your farm stand. And again, it doesn't matter what the product or the service is, but when you have word of mouth marketing, when you have other people who are telling about you and about what you offer, it sends a whole different message, and it really brings a connection. It allows you to know that what you're doing is the right thing. It's getting the word out. Now, granted, the ship goes both ways, right? So you have positive word of mouth marketing and you have negative word of mouth marketing. So how do you get both? Or how do you get either, I guess? Well, if you do a bad job, you're going to get negative word of mouth marketing. If you do a good job and people really like your product, they like you, they like your service, they like what you have to offer, you're going to get positive word of mouth marketing. That's going to go so much further than negative word of mouth marketing. All right. When people feel seen and valued, they don't just buy from you, they tell others about you. But connection alone isn't enough. And really, to keep customers coming back, you have to be consistent. So that's point number 2, consistency. So first, connection. Number 2 is consistency. So consistency is really what transforms that curiosity into reliability. So first you build that connection, but you got to keep doing it over and over and over. And that feels heavy. It feels long. It feels overwhelming. But when you can stay consistent, and you can set that up through automations, you can set it up through social media so that you're dripping out content, you're sharing posts in a routine way, it's really what's going to help transform you. So think about your favorite local coffee shop. Think about a market that you like to go to. Think about another stand that you like to go to. You go back because you know exactly what to expect. If everything was different, if you went one week and then the next week things were different, you're probably not going to keep going back week after week after week. At least I won't. I like going to hardware stores. We have local hardware stores in our area, whether it's Lowe's, Menards, Home Depot. And when I go to one store, I know what I'm getting. If I go back to that store a few weeks later and everything has changed, I'm probably not going to be responding well to that. And I'm probably going to get frustrated and leave. The same is true for your farm stand. It doesn't matter if you have just a few products or if you have an array of products. So we'll walk over to our farm stand and we'll take a look to see like how we have some things set up, just so you can have, an idea about what this looks like. But when you think about going to a stand, you want to make sure that the layout is similar. You want to make sure that your labels look similar. You want to make sure, hey buddy, you want to make sure that your signage is similar, okay? When you stay consistent, your customers know what to expect, and there's no surprises. So this is not the farm stand that we started with, all right? You've seen photos online of our purple farm stand, and if you haven't, we'll share a resource with you in the comments below what that looks like. But when you take a look at our farm stand now, it is completely different. So it's an indoor stand. But when you walk into our farm stand, you're gonna see that we have lots of products in here. And we'll even come over here to the products that we make, we produce. We have soaps, we have salves, we have our lavender bundles, we have our syrup kits, we have our tallow. Big seller for us is our tallow butter, our tallow balm. It's a skincare product. We have bath salts, we have other items. But when you visit our farm stand, you know that when you come in, first, we're gonna have the lights on. Second, when you pan around the room, you're gonna see the same setup. So we have our products, we have some other non-toxic, natural products. We have local products back here. And then you come around here to our cooler, this is where we have our milk. It's all empty right now because everybody's already picked up for the week. But it's the same process. We have our money box here on the wall. If you've already ordered from us, we have a pickup location with your name on it so that people know where to come to. Same thing for consistency outside. We have flags that indicate when we're open. They're just simple purple flags, nothing fancy. We have an open sign, but we stay consistent with that. Our customers know that. They expect that. They want us to be able to offer that product to them, but we want to be able to stay consistent so that they don't get surprised, because we don't like surprises. We know they don't like surprises. We want to be able to offer them the same experience time and time again. All right. So how can you engage in consistency? So some of that is going to be online, right? You are posting regular times, or you're just posting, routinely, whether that's once a week, a couple of times a week, whether that's every day. You're posting consistently. And And even once a week or even 2 days a week can really create enough of a rhythm so that your customers know who you are and what you do. Keep your product lineup simple. All right. So I showed you some of our products in there, thinking about labels, things like that. So keep your product lineup simple, whether that's soaps, salves, creams, whether that's, baked goods, bagels, breads, muffins. Keep that stuff consistent, because when people know who you are and what you offer, as well as hours, they don't get surprised. They know that when they show up on a Thursday at 10 a.m., that you're going to have fresh bread available. They know that if you show up at Saturday morning at noon, they know that you're going to have fresh sourdough bagels available. Okay? So keep your product lineup similar, or keep it simple, keep it consistent, communicate clearly, whether that's through social media, whether that's, just things there on your displays, and then track that. Track what things are selling, what things are selling well. Keep a notebook handy. We know what products are selling. We know when they're selling. We know based on seasonality what things are going to do better at different times than at others. So when you can stay consistent, it builds attention. It earns loyalty with your customers. It's really the thing that keeps people coming back time and time again. And it's what helps sell. Okay? Number 3 is trust. So when you think about trust, I'm dropping my stuff here. When you think about trust is really the foundation for everything that you do in your business. When people trust you, they're going to exchange their time and their money at your stand. When you think about, again, we mentioned about consistency, going to like a local store, a coffee shop, and you know what you're getting, right? There is no surprise. You know exactly what things you are getting, what you are earning. When you have, when you're asking people for money, people aren't willing to give you money unless they trust you. They have to trust you to give their money. All right? So how do you do that? Well, first is showing up. You got to show up. You got to be truthful. You got to be honest. Don't hide things. Don't say that, this product I made and it's clearly evident that you didn't. Be honest with that. People can read through, lies. Be honest that you made something. Be honest that you didn't make something. Be honest if the ingredients are organic or if they're not organic. Don't try to hide behind a false label, a false narrative that, you're trying to pretend to be something that you're not. So don't do that. Be honest with everything that you're doing. So be transparent. Price fairly. Don't undervalue your products. Make sure you're valuing your products appropriately and fairly, but communicate that. Factor that into your pricing when you're thinking about enough margins, enough product. Keep promises. If you say you're going to restock on a certain day, restock on that day. Don't hold back. Don't do something that, don't go through and only restock on Mondays when everyone else is expecting you to restock on Fridays. Okay? So make sure that you are keeping your promises. If you are setting out product for a customer, don't not do that. So make sure that you're staying honest and true to that. And lastly, invite feedback. So if people really like your product, they'll continue to come back over and over, but you want to improve. So ask them. Ask your customers how you can improve. Ask them for feedback. Maybe that's sending out a form if you need to, or simply just talking to them. When your customers know you, they like you, and they trust you, they will be willing to share feedback, even negative feedback, critical feedback. And that's helpful to grow your business. Don't pretend as though that everything is perfect when, in fact, it's not. Take the feedback, consider it, process how you're going to apply it to your business, and consider moving forward. All right. So connection draws them in, consistency keeps them coming, and trust is ultimately what makes them stay. So make sure that you're thinking through that. Did you see? Yeah, that's awesome. But if you've listened this far and you're still not sure about starting your own farm stand, I'd like to encourage you. All right. It doesn't matter if you're starting it as a hobby, as a business. If you're starting as a ministry, it doesn't matter. You still have to go through and have consistency. You have to have connection, and you have to build trust. But before you even get to that point, if you're still stuck on, Scott, I don't even know what I even want to offer yet, that's totally fine. You are allowed to not know what you're going to be building. You're allowed to know what you're not going to be selling yet. That's okay. So I want you to take out a sheet of paper. You're going to write down 7 questions. You're going to answer these questions as we navigate through. So the first question is, why do you want to start a farm stand? Plain and simple. Why do you want to start? Do you want to start a farm stand because you want more income? You want to start a farm stand because you want more family time? You want to bring maybe a spouse home because that's possible. Maybe you want to be able to just provide enough extra funds for seeds for next year's garden. You want to be able to spend a night away in a hotel. Whatever reason you want to start a farm stand, write that down. That becomes kind of your mission for launching and growing your farm stand. So why do you personally want to start a farm stand? That's question number 1. Question number 2 is, who do you want to serve? So who do you personally want to serve? Is that moms with children living at home? Is that busy truck drivers as they're driving past your driveway? Is that fill in the blank? Who do you want to serve? People often start the question with, or start the search with, this is what I want to sell. That sounds good, but you have to be able to think past that. So who do you want to serve? Then start thinking, what do you want to sell? What do you want to offer? Maybe that's sourdough bread. Maybe that's produce from your garden. Maybe that's, tallow-based products. Maybe that's goat's milk. Maybe that's chicken eggs. Maybe that's meat. What is it that you want to offer to your ideal client? So who, we'll call them the ideal client avatar, or the ideal customer avatar, the ICA. And then you think through, what do you want to actually sell them? The third question is, why would your ideal customer buy your product? And if you can't answer that question, we have to go back to the beginning. All right. The reason why you need to know who you're selling to and what you're selling and why they want to buy it is because at the end of the day, you have a problem. You have a solution to their problem. Okay. So you are solving a problem for them. And it cannot be as simple as, I grow food because people eat. They are people. Therefore, they would buy my food because they need to eat. That doesn't take care of the question. That doesn't take care of the situation. Yes, people need to eat food. Yes, people need to eat. They don't need to eat your food. They could eat your food, but they could also eat food from the grocery store. They could eat food from any other farm stand in the area. They could eat food from any other place. They don't even have to eat. So, what do you want to sell? Who are you selling it to? And what problem is it solving for them? So why would they want to buy it? So as an example, we have a lavender farm. We serve females typically between the ages of 20 to 50 who are married, living at home, or living, with a spouse at home. They have children living at home, and they want to be able to provide high quality, nutritious items, high quality products to their family, typically non-toxic products. So what we offer are non-toxic products. And why would they want to buy it? Because it solves the problem for them. It's not that we know that we have, quality stuff. So we are trying to sell to a customer who wants to buy quality stuff. But we know that they would buy it because we offer quality products that meets their need of non-toxic. that directly addresses the problem that they are experiencing. Okay. So question 1, who will you serve? Question 2, what will you sell? Question 3, why would they buy it? Question 4, where will you sell? So thinking about your farm stand, typically going to be selling at your farm stand, but you can also sell online. You can sell through social media. You can sell through pickup locations or drop locations or community markets. Thinking about farmers markets, thinking about craft shows, thinking about other meet and greets, things like that. So when will you sell? We highly encourage you to not open up 24/7 or from sun up to sundown, because that's very labor intensive. It's very burdensome. It actually leads you to not being able to walk away from your farm stand or from your business. So you're doing this likely because you want to make more income. You want more time, more freedom, and you don't want more commitment and leading to burnout. The next question, how will you sell? So this is really kind of the last question, but how will you sell your products? Again, thinking about where, but will you sell face-to-face? Will you sell through a hybrid model where you set up your stand and you go out and you meet people occasionally? Will it be all live in-person face-to-face sales? Will it be self-serve? Will it be an auction environment? What does that look like? What does that look like for you? So how will you sell? And then lastly, the very kind of final question is, again, going back to the very beginning, why do you want to start a farm stand? Why is this important to you? For us, it was really about adding more income so that we could have more time with our family. Having a home-based business can do that. We sell multiple 5 figures a year. We're very thankful for that. We're blessed by that. But when we sell, we are honestly striving to be able to connect with our family through sales. And we're ultimately building a relationship back to our community and back to our creator, because that is our whole goal. That is our entire desire. It's not just about building more income. It's not just about building more family time. It's truly about building a connection to our creator, to our community, to our family. That's what it's about. That is our mission. That's our vision. That's our values. And if you have not thought through what you're going to do with that, I strongly encourage you, work through that. We've got another video here that will help you to process through the mission, vision, and values, looking at your brand story statement, looking at who your ideal customer is, because honestly, we didn't know who that was when we first started. And we had to think through that, and we had to work through that. So down in the description below, we have a 90-day roadmap. It's completely free. We'd encourage you to grab that, check that out. We would love to have you join us in our free Facebook group. And then lastly, if you already have a farm stand and you're looking to consider some alternative products, some alternative resources, we have a list in the description. We'd love to be able to get you included in that, to be able to focus on what kind of tools and resources we use to help you to grow your business. Lastly, if you found this to be helpful, again, hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you much.